I am on a quest to figure out why there are so many female losers. How many times has a Karen or a woman just made your life a living hell just because she felt like it? That's a female loser. And we might look at this, there's actually an economist, Aaron Clarey, who ran the numbers about what % of women are marriageable. That means women that are a baseline level of not fat, women without incurable STDs, without a ton of debt, not overly mean, not overly bitter, not ugly, not single mothers. And they found that it's a whopping less than 2% of women in 2026 are marriageable, meaning there's a lot of female losers. Now anyways, how did we get here? How did we get here when in 1950 the women were young, fit, feminine, and friendly? Well, I'm here to tell you. So women in this society get money very easily, and there's ways that women get money. Now, women can get money through family money. This means a dad that's making a lot of money and funding his daughter's life decisions, whether good or bad. This can also be a rich husband. Some women marry a rich husband young, others marry a rich husband old. But regardless, he is paying for her life choices and for what she wants. Now, a number to keep in mind is women make 85% of consumer buying decisions. A lot of times also women get easy money because rich women don't want to do their jobs. So a lot of men might have a rich wife, but she doesn't want to watch the kids. She doesn't want to cook for the family. She doesn't even want to dress herself. And there's a lot of easy jobs that are catering to rich women. Women get money and women don't understand the value of money. So what happens is people want women to part with their money. They want to take the money from the women. And this can be done in an ethical way or an unethical way, right? So here's the issue you get. Women get money easily. Women don't understand the value of money because they either got it through an easy job, sex work, or a man giving it to them from their husband or family. The issue you get is that people want that money. Now, there's complete and entire industries built off of lying to women. Another one I see is matchmakers. They tell old, ugly, fat women not to lose weight, but that, you just need to hire a matchmaker to find you love. So they get women's money. This leads women to go into a boatload of debt, and nobody's ever been honest with them in their life. So when women are young, they get the easy money. And then after they get into debt and they no longer can take out more credit cards, they become old, fat, ugly, broke, and now they're going to be in indentured servitude for their college debt the rest of their life. And now we have female losers. So if you have a young man and he wants to go into society, first he goes to school. His parents send him to school. Now, the majority of teachers are actually women. It is no wonder that kids are graduating high school and they cannot read. Because since women have taken over education, they have completely changed education to female standards. Men like competition. Men like hierarchy. Men size each other up and they know who is the best man in the room and can organize themselves into a hierarchy. Women cannot take an L. Women cannot acknowledge that another woman or even a man is better than them. So when women get together, we tend to be more egalitarian. Everybody is equal. And you see that in schools. Right now, the schools have less competition. They push LGBTQ nonsense. They tell men to be quiet, sit down, sit still. They take away recess and PE. To the point that men are actually getting drugged in schools. They tell men that for being men, you need to be put on ADHD medication, when young boys just like to, run around, have fun. The education system has switched to memorization over problem solving. Men use information to solve problems. That's what men are best at. Women are much better at just regurgitating nonsense. Why do you think it's women that are pushing this LGBTQ propaganda? So men go to the school system. They have anti-male rhetoric shoved down their throats. And in the school system, they're told to open the doors for women to, if she hits you, you can't hit her back. Men go into the school system and they're brainwashed there. Female empowerment is pushed while also telling men that they're equal. There's all of these scholarships to get women ahead. There's all these scholarships for women in engineering, women in tech. There's not that extra help for men. Then men get a smartphone, and the man might think, wow, this is great. I get to connect with my friends. However, what happens is they get nagged on social media. Social media tends to tell men they need to do more for less, telling men you need to do X, Y, and Z in order to be a real man, as if a woman knows what a real man is. On top of that, if there's ever a male movie or male-centered content like video games, women enter the industry, guilt and nag men for liking what they like, or doing what they do, and then change the movie or change the video games. That's why we had Gamergate. On top of that, all of the shows on TV show the dad or the men in those shows as dumb. Who's telling them this? Women, young women, middle-aged women, old women, all of the women are telling them this. There's this idea that young women don't naturally hate men. But when young women are pulled, they will tell you that they hate men. So how are young women brainwashed if women are the ones pushing this? Now, when I talk about a female loser, I'm talking about women that are old, ugly, bitter, in debt, a ton of STDs, mean, bitchy wives, Karen wives, no fun, always telling everyone what to do, and just nags altogether. Now, a lot of these monsters are created in marriage. There's some idea from the conservatives that marriage is great for men and women and that it just brings out the best in each other. But in my experience, in a lot of cases, it actually brings out the worst in each other. So you start off with this happy family. So you got the mom, the dad, and the kids, and everything's going good. And what happens is men will tell the women to do something. Now, men really, especially fathers, they have the women's best interests at heart. Women do not have the men's best interest at heart. But when men tell women something, usually he is looking out for her. But the women get angry. They don't, that's why they say, I don't need no man. You can't control me. So what happens is he'll say to stop spending so much money, for example. And the woman will say, no, you can't control me. And she, this is important, does what she wants anyways. Most men, when they say I do, actually plan on staying for life. And there's no way to enforce this. So if he tells her something, she can still do what she wants without any consequence. So then usually what happens is there is a disaster. So for example, in this case, he says, stop spending so much money. Now the whole family's in debt. Little Jimmy doesn't have a college fund. She spent it on Amazon and Botox. It's gone. So then he comes in, he works extra hours. Let me give her some blue hair because she's probably a feminist. He works, I put a little cape on him. He saves the day. So he says, do you know what, honey? I'm going to work some extra hours. I'm going to fix your problem. This makes him feel needed. Men love feeling needed. Now, the issue is in exchange, this just happens over and over again. So there's no gratitude, and we go back to maybe the family's happy for a little bit, and then he gives her another order. Let's discipline the kids. And she says, no, I read this thing online that talks about gentle parenting. Then there's a disaster. The kid gets into disciplinary trouble at school. And then it happens again. He says, honey, you're gaining a little bit of weight. Well, it's only because I've had these kids. That's why I'm fat. Honey, why don't we just eat steak? No, I want to try a new recipe every day. I want to try all these recipes. No, but our neighbors, Stacy does this, and she's really skinny. So she does what she wants everywhere. Now the kids are now tortured kids, right? Because she's feeding the kids, because she did what she wanted anyway. And a disaster hits. There is a disaster. Now the kid has like diabetes and he's 12, right? And now the mother is like, oh no, the kid has diabetes. And the husband said, all right, let's go on this diet plan. And then it starts working. And then there's little tortas, right? Now they're skinny again. What happens in marriage is it's just this cycle of the the woman torturing the husband and the children, and the men trying to save the day, her not listening, a disaster that affects everybody in the family, and then the husband comes in again. And what happened is the men are addicted to feeling needed, and the woman is addicted to ruining everybody's life. And so that is marriage in 2026. It's just this hamster wheel of the men not being able to do what they want to do and going off of their purpose to solve women's problems until she decides that the torturing of everyone, like torturing these three just wasn't enough. Now she's got to torture other people. So then, let's say, how does this end? She goes, I found this new group. I want to get a personal trainer. I don't know if you should get a personal trainer. He looks like me, but better looking. Does what she wants anyway. Cheats on him. Again, the husband finally says, that's enough. Or she says, I just want to be happy. You're holding me back in life. And then there's a divorce. And then we go back to the female losers, which are fat, old, ugly, bitter, in debt, STD-ridden, mean, bitchy wives, Karens that are no fun. So now she's got a bunch of debt, and she's a female loser.